Hey everyone, welcome back to the Soundbyte. My name is Andrew, and today we're going to be jumping into a bit of Black Label Society, hence the flag at the back there. Someone actually made a suggestion based on the flag on the back by a Patrick Armstrong, who recommended to check out Black Label Society. Not really a band that I don't know. I'm very familiar with them, hence the flag. And by the way, they're not my favorite band necessarily. It's just that I like the flag. It's really cool. So I've always had it there for quite a number of years now. So we're going to check out one of the biggest tracks that they've ever released, Stillborn. It's been a little while since I've actually listened to Black Label Society, so kind of keen to get back into it. There's an interesting thing about this song is it was kind of released sort of twice, based once as just a standalone single, and another time when it was on an album, the Blessed Hellride. And also it features Ozzy Osbourne on vocals. I think he just only does some backing vocals or something like that. He has a very similar voice to Zakk Wylde as well, which is so it's very hard to distinguish between the two at times. But obviously Zakk Wylde known for being the guitar player for Ozzy Osbourne, so obviously there's that connection right there. So let's check out Stillborn from Black Label Society, and let's get right into it. This is not a band that I have listened to in a little bit, so like I said, I'm keen to sort of get back into it. So thank you for the suggestion. It's always good to have a reminder of like some bands that I have listened to a ton of times, and then kind of just sometimes you kind of get into these sort of phases or whatever, and you kind of just forget about them for a little while, and then all of a sudden something sort of clicks and you go, oh yeah, I remember them, and you sort of get back into it. Hence why this is part of the reason why I did this channel, is because of there's so many bands that I listen to, and there are times when I just forget about them, and I just need those little gentle reminders. Oh, you remember these guys, or whatever. So, yeah, let's get right straight into it. Black Label Society with Stillborn. And already it's there. A trademark guitar sound. Okay, we're going to pause it right there because it's not a long song. I need just over 3 minutes. Yeah, I already got that trademark Zakk Wylde sound. Production is always brilliant. Every single album I've ever listened to, the production just sounds top notch. Absolutely great stuff. So I love that sort of side of them. I will say that there's not a lot of changes in the band over the career of Black Label Society. Once you kind of found what their sound is, and you kind of realize, okay, this is what their sound is, so it's sort of like the AC/DC sort of like thing of like, this is what they sound like, and this is what you're going to always get. So there's a consistency there, which you always have these expectations of when new music is coming out from BLS, and you kind of know what to expect. And Zakk Wylde never seems to let you down. He always comes up with some cool riffs, and all those, I guess it's pinch harmonics, right? The thing that one of the things he does. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not a guitar player, so I kind of got really into Zakk Wylde stuff through, which actually was through Dimebag Darrell, because I knew he was good friends with Dime, and through Pantera, I kind of discovered Black Label Society. A lot of people sort of discover Black Label Society through Ozzy Osbourne or through Black Sabbath, and I actually discovered them not through them, but actually through Pantera. So yeah, sort of a little bit different. Then I kind of went back and I saw the connection between obviously Zakk Wylde and Black Sabbath. So I was like, okay, that all makes sense now, So, but yeah, very cool stuff. I'll get into more about Zakk Wylde in a moment. Tell you a little bit some of the stories that I've had with as far as interactions, and yeah, because that guy is just a hilarious guy. He's just absolutely funny. Just he could be a stand-up comedian if he wasn't a guitar player, in all honesty. So. riff. Okay, pause it there, just on the last sort of 40 seconds or so. Um, my interaction with Zakk Wylde has been a couple of times I've interviewed him. But for those who don't know, I've mentioned in a couple of other videos that I used to work in the media side of things and did a lot of interviews and reviews and stuff. And a couple of media outlets, magazines, well, not really magazines, they're kind of online versions of that, I guess. And so I interviewed Zakk Wylde a couple of times, and always hilarious, always very entertaining. It's very hard to get a straight answer from him sometimes because I think at the end of the day, these guys sort of do just, stacks and stacks of interviews, and they're kind of having just a bit of fun with it. And Zakk Wylde's personality, if anyone has seen any of his interviews, he definitely has a sense of humor about a lot of things, and so he doesn't like to take things too seriously. Occasionally I got a few straight answers from him, but for the most part, he's always, I remember one time I interviewed him and he was talking about, I forget the question that I had now, but he was talking about like dancing on ice or something like that, and then with Madonna and all this kind of stuff. I don't know. He went on a tangent, all these things, and I don't know. We both had a good laugh about it, but because you kind of have to, I guess, at the end of the day, because it's a little mundane to kind of just keep talking about the album and yourself over and over and over again, I guess. So I do get it. Hence why when I did interviews, I always try to ask some different questions, and especially for the ones who are kind of quite well known, and you sort of want to get to know them a little bit more outside the music. So I always ended up asking them a lot about stuff that they used to do, like sort of outside of music, and that's when the eyes would sort of light up and they go, oh, okay, these guys got other interests outside of music. It's not just about the music and the guitar playing and stuff like that. Yeah, he's a very cool guy though. I've never actually met him though, but like I said, I've talked to him on the phone and stuff like that a couple of times, and yeah, always had a good time. Yeah, again, just need to want to get back into the band. I don't know. I know they put out something recently or something, I think. When I say recently, I mean like in the last couple of years or whatever. So I'm sure there's a new album or whatever out there waiting, which I don't think I've actually listened to yet. So that's another one that I can jump into. But let's continue forward and finish this song off. There we go, Black Label Society with Stillborn, which is off the Blessed Hellride album. Well, also released as a standalone single. I think it was released as a single long before it came out on an album. So do correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I believe that was the story for at least a year or so, I think, before it was actually put on an album. So I don't know what the story is behind the actual song, why it was released as just a standalone. I'm sure you can let me know on that as well. Maybe it was something that they put out for some compilation, or something, I don't know, or a movie maybe, or soundtrack. Yeah, so there you go. Black Label Society, Mr. Zakk Wylde. Like I said, I interviewed him a couple of times and it was always a fun time to chat to him. I'm sure if I do get back into the interview game again, we'll come across each other again, and have another good little chat. This is something that I'm going to slowly sort of maybe get into on this channel, is to sort of introduce some interviews, and a lot of the bands that I'm reacting to and reviewing and stuff like that. A lot of those bands, I'll be able to maybe possibly have a chat to. So we'll see how we go. At the moment, I'm kind of just letting the channel organically move in a direction that it needs to go to. So I'm not pushing anything or forcing anything. And it's been interesting, so far how all the suggestions have kind of been just pushing me into a certain direction. I didn't think I was going to go in this direction, kind of going into a sort of more sort of classic sort of style, I guess. Not so much the modern and not so much the heavy and all that kind of stuff. So it's been interesting, but like I said before in other videos, I do want to keep it diverse. I don't want to be stuck into one kind of thing. So, and same with when I did all these interviews, I mean, I talked to just a range of different sort of bands, from the heavy to the light and everything like that. So blues musicians, rock, metal, like I did it all. So one person I've never interviewed is Ozzy Osbourne, and I'm sure he's probably not doing much interviews now, considering his health and things like that. And obviously Black Sabbath, kind of calling it a day. So that'll be probably the end of that, and I'm guessing his solo thing as well. Yeah, so that's another one I should get into as well, Ozzy Osbourne. Never got much into his solo stuff. There was a couple of songs here and there, like No More Tears and stuff that I like. But certainly a lot of the stuff in the 80s I never really sort of took. I mean, I was traditionally a 70s Black Sabbath sort of guy. And then once Ozzy left the band, I kind of went, it wasn't my kind of thing. So, but I don't know. I gotta check it out, and maybe it'll be, with a different set of ears. Maybe it'll be different, and I'll maybe appreciate it a bit differently this time around. So, anyway, thanks for tuning in as always. Please subscribe if you haven't. If you have, thank you very much, and please check us out on our social media links. All there in the description, and I'll see you in the next video.